Hey everybody, welcome back to One More Guitar. Thank you for checking out the channel. Today I'm going to open up a Epiphone Les Paul Special. This is one of the new 2020 Epiphones, and I'm really excited to see it. I think Epiphone's put out some cool stuff this year, so I'm looking forward to getting into this guitar and seeing what it looks like. So let's get going. Alright, let's open this guitar. There we go. Alright, that's the receipt. Alright, let's see what this guitar looks like. That yellow. Looks pretty good. A little dirty. Okay, let's see what else we got in the box. Okay, got a guarantee card, got an Epiphone sticker. Looks like we got a poster here. All the different guitars. See that? On the back, it's just people playing Epiphone guitars, so that's pretty cool. We have a little owner's manual. Let's see, and we've got an Allen wrench, and we've got a card for the new bone nut. All right, I'm going to get this on the table and look over it a little bit. One of the first things I noticed was this gunk on the headstock. I couldn't tell at this point, but when I cleaned the guitar later, I noticed it was also all over the body. You can't really see it on this yellow, but it was pretty dirty. I'm not sure what that is. I've never seen that before. I know there's at least one person out there that likes to see this. You know who you are. So clean. Anyway, moving on. It's a mahogany body. It's got a set-in neck. It's a 12-inch radius. It's a 24.75-inch scale length. The fretboard is made of Indian laurel. I don't think I've had a guitar with a laurel fretboard before, so we'll see how that goes. The finish is TV yellow. And if you don't know the reason for that, it's because when TVs were in black and white guitars reflected too much light. So they used yellow to make it less reflective. If you've ever seen the '64 Seattle Center concert by the Beatles, you can see a few spots in that video where their guitars are reflecting too much light just from the metal on there, and it's kind of burning out the camera. So I could definitely see that being a problem. Here we've got the new Epiphone headstock. I'm not sure if I like it yet or not. I liked the old one, but this one doesn't bother me really. The guitar comes with deluxe vintage ivory buttons, new bone Graphtec nut, medium jumbo frets. You've got dot inlays. It comes with two Soap Bar P90 single coil pickups. It's a 3-way toggle switch and your standard Les Paul 2 volume, 2 tone configuration. The neck profile is specified as a vintage 50s. It's pretty chunky, but it's not too thick. It feels pretty good in your hands. I think the back looks pretty good. Just trying to see if you could see any grain in there, and I can't really see it that well. Maybe just a little bit, but not much. You can see that the fretboard has binding on the sides of it. There's actually some pretty cool grain in this fretboard. The last thing I want to mention is this lightning bar wraparound bridge. It's a compensated bridge. I also want to point out these little posts on the bottom here. I haven't had any problems with them, but just be aware of them. Alright, I got this guitar tuned up. I tried it out of the box. It was definitely about a whole step down on every string, which might be in tune for some people. But I tuned it up. I've already noticed that the action is really high on this thing. So I'm going to play around with it a little bit the way it was out of the box, plus the tuning. But I'm probably going to run and set this up real quick because this setup is not that great. I will go ahead and check for high frets too, just because I know that's an issue with these Epiphones that are coming out this year. So I don't see any problems with it, but who could tell with the action this high? Actually, before I change anything, I'll get the ruler out and see what the action is actually set to out of the box. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to set this up if you get one of these, if it comes the way mine did, because it's pretty difficult to play. Another thing I'll talk about real quick is this neck thickness. This is probably the thickest neck I have on a guitar, and I like it. But it is thick, so just wanted you to know that. Okay, before I try these P90 pickups, which these are my first P90 pickups, so I'm really excited to do that. But I'm going to play it acoustically because I think the guitar does have a really good acoustic sound to it. I hope my lapel mic's picking that up well, but I really just wanted you to get a sense of what the guitar sounded like acoustically. Alright, so let's turn it on. I'm going to start with the neck pickup, and just going to go completely clean, maybe a little reverb. Let's see what it sounds like. And that's really hot. So I'm going to roll the tone back, and I'm going to roll the volume back. Alright, so let's give it another chance here. Neck pickup, clean. This action is so high. Man, I'm liking the P90s. I can tell it's got that, it's like a thin punch to it. I don't know how to explain that. It's really cool though. I like it. Alright, let's move on to the middle position. Alright, so I think the pickups sound pretty good. I've got black stuff all over my hands, and this action's killing me. So I'm going to go change that. And also, this fretboard feels really dry. I don't know why, if it's where they've been stored or the shipping or what. But I'm also gonna, put some oil on the fretboard too. So I'll be back with a proper review of this thing. You might not be able to tell from this picture, but it looks like I stuck a Sharpie in this towel and started drawing around. This guitar is crazy dirty. Okay, I've set up this guitar and changed the strings and stuff. I wasn't really able to give it a fair assessment on the last playthrough because out of the box, the action on this thing was over 3 1/4 on the bass side and about 3 on the treble side, millimeters. Now, I usually like to set my bass side around 2 millimeters and the treble side around 1.5. So the strings were really far off the fretboard last time, and they were pretty far away from the pickups, really. I mean, I couldn't get a good sense of the guitar. And, truthfully, I wasn't too excited about it. So I've set it up now, and we're going to see if I like it any better. All right, I'll start on the neck pickup. Man, that sounds glassy. I can already tell you I like that better than I did. It's crazy what a difference a setup will make. Hey, that sounds pretty good. This is my first guitar with P90s. I think I've mentioned that before, but I've never heard anything like that. That is, it's chimey, but it's punchy at the same time. That's weird. That's really cool, though. I like that a lot. Man, I like this so much more than I did earlier. A setup is so important. I see so many times people give guitars bad reviews because of a setup. And folks, I'm telling you, go learn how to set up your guitars because it makes a huge difference and it's really not that difficult. Okay, let's move on to the bridge pickup and see what that sounds like. We'll do this in black and white mode so you can see what this guitar would have looked like on TV back in the day, I guess. Set the bridge. Alright, let's see what it sounds like with a little overdrive. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this guitar? Well, I really like it. I like this thick neck. I think these P90s sound really good. This neck pickup, it's got a really clean kind of glassy sound to it that I really like. And the bridge pickup sounds good for a bridge pickup. This is my first wraparound bridge like this. Not too bad. I kind of like it. I mean, I don't know. I think I'd like a Tune-O-Matic better, really. Just because wrapping the strings around and tuning them, it was trying to pull off, you know, a little bit. I mean, not a big deal, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the bridge, though, itself. It's decent. It's compensated, so I was able to get it intonated perfectly. So I was happy about that. The switch, it's a little loud. You could probably get a better switch if you really wanted to. The knobs feel good. I've gotten some good tones out of it. The electronics are supposed to be CTS. I haven't actually opened it up, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are. So I'm happy with all of that. The few things that I will mention, like I said, the setup out of the box was pretty awful. I don't know why they do that, because if I was a company trying to sell my guitar to people, I don't think I'd ship them out that out of whack, because, you know, there's a lot of people that don't know how to set up guitars, and they put their hands on that and they hate it. You know, why would you do that? I don't know. Once I set this thing up, though, I was really impressed with it. I really like the tuners on here. I was kind of worried about it at first because they're so small, but the tuners themselves feel good when you're tuning it. There's not a lot of play in it. It's really nice. The weight of the guitar is pretty decent. Haven't actually weighed it yet, but it doesn't feel too heavy. By the time I post this video, I'll weigh it and I'll put it up on the screen now. But it doesn't feel too heavy. I think it's a comfortable guitar. Oh, one thing I will say about it is the sustain on this thing is pretty nuts. Finally stopped. So, I mean, I'm impressed with that. I don't have a lot of guitars that'll sustain like that, so that's really cool. You know, I'll say that compared to the Gibson one, which I haven't actually seen in person, I will admit, but just looking at the pictures online, you can tell that the finish is a little nicer on the Gibson. Another thing I'll mention is this: it was super dirty out of the box, and I don't mean just like, you know, a little typical guitar dirty. I mean, this is the dirtiest guitar I have ever seen come out of a box. My hands are still getting black from playing it, and I've changed the strings, I have oiled the fretboard, I've wiped it down again, and black stuff is still coming off this thing. And like I mentioned, there was a film all over it. So, you know, if you get one of these, make sure you clean it up really good too. So clean it up, set it up. You'll probably really like this guitar. I do want to mention the neck one more time. I think this is probably the thickest neck guitar I have. And at first it was a little off-putting, probably because the strings were a mile off of the fretboard. It really felt uncomfortable to play. But again, once I set it up, I really like this neck. It's not really fast, you know, but it's really chunky and it's got a good feel to it. It feels good in your hands. So overall, I'm really happy with this guitar. I think it's a good purchase. And if you're looking to get one, I do recommend it. But, you know, just make sure you clean it up and set it up. All right, thanks again for checking out the channel. Remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. And until next time, take it easy and keep playing.